Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm your sister Naomi Saif. Today is part 3 of eating healthy, and it's not going to go on forever. This might be the last one or maybe one more. Because, the purpose of me even starting this conversation is just to encourage us to be aware, of what our body is telling us, if we're feeling fatigue, if we're not happy with stuff sticking to the insides of our body, and to encourage us that we can do it. We can make whatever changes, Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to hurry up and do this before the kids come home. So, and as you can see, I have the same clothes on for maybe the video before or maybe the one after this. I don't know what order I'm going to post this. I don't got time to change. That's all right. But so in part 1, I think I talked about becoming educated and doing it with a purpose, doing homework. I would suggest that, you pay attention to the foods that you eat the most and then start your homework. Do it, start small, don't overwhelm yourself. Say for example, if you eat, I'm going to use just my own foods just for an example. If I eat arroz con andule, Puerto Rican rice, and I eat fried chicken, and I eat, cereal, more than 3 times a week, let's say, then I'm going to look at, okay, what do I use for my rice? Am I using Sazon because it has MSG? My cereals, do they have sugar? Just like that, what I'm saying? Just try to find at least if you eat 3 meals a day, what's the most common breakfast, the most common lunch, the most common dinner, and if you can sneak in your most common snack, but not if you don't have, don't overwhelm yourself. And then start there, my family, we started with MSG. I had a pot of Spanish rice, and one of my friends came over who has migraines. So if that's another thing, she has migraines, and I offered her some rice, and she asked me, before I eat this, I need to know, how did you make it red? And I told her Sazon, and she said, can't do that, has MSG, and it triggers my migraines. And it got me to thinking, and she said, you should consider it because you're very hyper and your kids are very hyper, and that's probably a trigger, because we sometimes think that if we don't have a reaction to something, that it's not bad for us. We heard it in the past, right? Oh, in regards to cigarettes, we heard it in the past. So-and-so has been smoking for 30 years and they've never got cancer. Oh, they're just healthy. And then so-and-so who doesn't smoke, they got cancer. Whatever. So, but the truth of the matter is that we have to believe, we not only believe, at least do our homework, at least become aware, So, and that's what I did. I was like, okay, MSG doesn't really affect me. Started looking it up, got scared because it had a lot of these symptoms that, 2 or 3 out of 4 of my children at that time had, especially my oldest, with focus and stuff like that. And as soon as I cut it out, I did notice a difference. He slowed down, even myself. I started, I was in love with flaming hot Cheeto popcorn, the hot ones. And I replaced it with strawberries, which is good for anxiety. And alhamdulillah, so, okay. I'm trying to make this as fast as I can. So, research the foods that you eat the most. Start there. Start slow. Eat maybe dinner. What do you eat the most for dinner? We eat a lot of rice. We eat a lot of pasta. We eat a lot of, and then think about the ingredients. What are you using? Are you using those prepackaged, like the one I mentioned, Sazon, for an example, that a lot of us Hispanic Afro-Caribbeans use, the adobo and stuff like that, and then replace it with your own, So start off slow and become aware that you're going to go through withdrawals. Become aware that as you say, when you replace your cereals, you're going to have to buy plain Cheerios and pour some honey, God forbid, on it, It's going to taste bland because your palate is just on steroids, that it's going to have to, it's going to have to, what's the word, flush? It's going to have to, I can't think of it right now, but it's going to have to, your taste buds and all that, they're just going to have to go through a thing where they, and then when you start to eat healthier, you'll be able to really taste the food for what it tastes like, you know. So, and then I'll give you a couple of things that I use in cooking, and I'm kind of throwing in even some like skincare and stuff like that, you know, because I'm still in the process. Where I'm at now, it's still with the food, and you know, it's you know, but I'm also with trying to find household products. You know, I'm trying to like, I recently found that tea tree oil, a couple of drops of tea tree oil in your like mop water helps, you know, as a sanitizer. You know, I use a lot of vinegar, I use baking soda, I use yeah, so that's where I am. And I'm also with trying to find like body, you know, lotions and stuff like that. And for a while we have been using, start showing my stuff, we have been using black soap for a while, but sometimes it could break apart, and we get this from a sister that makes it. And so what we do is we will cut a piece off, and then we'll put it like in a little jar with water, and then, you know, use it like that. But I've also begun to use Dr. Bronner's, you know. So, and this is good for, you know, dishes and cleaning other things as well. So you might want to check this out. And it lasts. It does last. And I have a bunch of kids, so it does. As long as you keep it away from them. So, but I'm still trying to find, especially with my daughter, the shampoos and the conditioners is really hard. But Dr. Bronner's is very good. And so, okay, food. I'm everywhere, right? One thing that I would also like to say is that stick to your roots. You know, our mothers and our grandparents, they knew best. Whatever they were doing, you know, 50 plus years ago, microwaves were not the rave that they are today. Fast food restaurants were not as common. They weren't, you know, a place that you would go every single day for every meal as it is now. So you look at the previous generation, and sometimes I know for myself, when my grandma would try to teach me how to cook, and I would say no, you know, and now I'm realizing like, no, you know, they were right in how they would approach things, because how did they survive thus far, you know? And so one thing that we have, it's a Puerto Rican thing, is we call sofrito, and this is we use this, for example, say you take this, and this is cilantro, garlic, onions, red pepper, green pepper, olives, capers, olive oil, salt, pepper. I will put my little recipe, and Puerto Ricans have, someone's probably watching me now like, that's not how you make it, but this is how I make it. So I will put it in the description box below, inshallah. And so you take sofrito, and 1 spoonful of this, and like you boil water, you put a little bit of this, and you put some noodles, you have soup. Or you boil beans, not in a can. You take dry beans, soak them overnight, or maybe like 2 hours, soak the beans, boil them, and then when they get soft, then you put some sofrito, 1 or 2 spoonfuls. I like it a lot of sofrito, so 1 or 2, and you know, you have your fresh vegetables. You have your garlic, your cilantro, you have, you know, and you made it, and you buy everything. What we do is we buy all of the vegetables, we blend it, and you know, some of us put it in, I like glass. I know some people take it and they put it in ice cube trays, and then when they want to use it, they'll just take a cube of it, put it in their rice, put it in their beans, put it in their soup, so you don't have to go and buy prepared broth or those packets and with those ingredients. I don't have it here. Another thing that we use, and I'm just using my culture as an example, is Sazon. And with the MSG, I had to find out how to make my own Sazon, which is, it's what makes the rice red. And I don't have it right now, but I will put it in the description box below. So it's a lot of, you know, eating healthy is definitely not convenient. It takes time, but it's worth it, you know. And in the beginning, your menu may be boring, but it'll be safe. It'll be, you'll start to feel better. And at the end of the day, everything is not about food. You go outside, and food is like its own celebrity. It's food. Okay, so another thing, lots of olive oil, lots of extra virgin, I don't know, olive oil. And I use this on my skin. You know, you take a shower. If you have very, very dry skin, you take a shower, and before you dry yourself, you just put this on your skin while you're still wet, and then you pat yourself dry. And then maybe I do too much. Sorry about that. Then you put shea butter, and then pat yourself, you know. And and I also fry. You know, I eat healthy, but I eat a lot. I like, let me tell you how greedy I am. I like rice, beans, and fried eggs for breakfast. I like dinner for breakfast, like, and so my rice, I make it with olive oil, and I buy dry. I don't make Uncle Ben's and those. I've never had that in my life, but I make real, you know, the real rice dry with this, with some olive oil and some sea salt. And I use dry beans, and then I put my sofrito in, and then I buy organic eggs, and then I fry with either light olive oil or grapeseed oil. And it is a little bit more expensive, but you know, you stretch it a little bit. Can't have it every day, along with just like halal meat. It's a little bit more, but you know, you also, if this whole thing forces you to eat more fruits and vegetables, you know, so. And then you'll also notice that when you start to tweak and you start to make some changes, that you do become fuller faster. You will become fuller faster because you're not getting as many, or if any, of those chemicals that trigger your brain that keep you from knowing that you're hungry. And that's what a lot of those chemicals do. They keep you from, they keep your bodies, they do something to your brain where it's like, I'm so hungry, and that's how someone is able to stretch their stomach. Another thing that I mentioned in the previous video that got cut out was animal rennet. Us Muslims, right, we try to avoid the pork and the alcohol. I suggest that we do some research in our cheese. That there's lots of animal rennet. And I don't want to get into much, but look it up. And it's haram, you know, it's got pork. Some cheeses have pork. Medicines, you know, those of us that, you know, use maybe cough syrup and stuff like that. Alcohol, we have to watch these things, you know, alcohol. Trying to get as much in as I can. Another thing is, if I'm also trying to learn how to make my own, you know, lotions and stuff. But there are your local markets, you know, there are recipes on YouTube. But an example is one that I bought recently. It's called African Gold, and it has shea butter, black seed oil, hemp seed oil. So, you know, if you're not there yet, just try to make little investments in your health. Another thing is a juicer. This is my juice. I don't know what it's, my husband made it. I have to make sure that I don't confuse it with the sofrito, right? But, you know, it's juice. So, you know, it's just so many, and my battery's about to run out. So, you know, just want to give a couple of things of what we eat, you know, what we do here. Because like I said, I eat a lot, you know, and it's not about how much you eat, it's what you eat and listening to your body. Nobody has ever gotten a pot belly from eating apples and bananas. No, it doesn't happen. And, you know, another example, we eat a lot of oatmeal for breakfast. I love eggs. You know, I have to get them organic, maybe one or two toast with coconut oil as a butter supplement or switch or whatever. I can't think right now. And what else? Honey. Get sugar out of your house. Agave syrup. And I think that's it. Another thing is that we don't do bottled water, and that's just a whole other topic. Tap water, yes, it's regulated at least by the city. So what else? Okay, so that's it. So inshallah, maybe I'll do one more. Oh, another thing is oils. Stay away from perfumes, things that have alcohol in it, you know, perfumes. And this is, you know, eye creation from my girl Avon, alhamdulillah. And our makeups, I have recently started to try to make, you know, get a little bit of makeup, you know. And this is, inshallah, I will do a tutorial when the rest of my stuff comes in that I've been ordering little by little. But this is Glow by Claudia Nor, and she is a Muslim, Afro, I think she's Dominican. And mashallah, this is her own makeup line. She's got lipsticks, she's got foundation, she's got concealers, and it's halal, it's organic, and it's wudu friendly. So inshallah, we will, my daughter wants to do what daughter does her makeup tag. So I don't know, maybe we'll do that. So please forgive me for being everywhere, and inshallah, you know, some of this can benefit you. But definitely, like I said, pay attention to what you eat the most. Do your research on that. You know, look into your culture, your backgrounds, and how your parents ate and stuff like that. And you know, stick to our roots. You know, it is this is a lot healthier and my homemade sazon than what I can buy in the store. You know. And at least I know where it came from. You know, like the story before, it doesn't have, you know, dog poop in it. It doesn't have surprises, and, you know, and also stay away from products that have more than 5 ingredients, and ingredients that you don't even read. Like, I mean, that you can't read, you can't even pronounce. You don't even know what it is. Like this right here, this is how it should be. You get a lotion and it says very clearly vitamin E and fragrance, jojoba oil, mango butter. You know, the same thing for our food. It should say the same thing. Your chips should say potato and sea salt. Very simple. So may Allah grant us ease in this quest to take care of his body and to you know, just try to live as healthy as we can, so that we cannot extend our life. We have no control of that, but we can do something about the quality of it. So thank you, keep me your du'as. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.